Hey, good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Happy Saturday. Fresh off of Juneteenth. And we're getting ready for Father's Day. And tomorrow is International Yoga Day. So we're going to have a good time tomorrow. Hope everyone says hello. Let me know how you're feeling this morning. Hope you are feeling well. I feel like I'm in a good mood. Got some sleep, so I'm feeling good. So you can say hello in the chat so I can shout you out, say hello back. I love to come on early before the class gets started and say hello to everybody. One of my favorite parts of being able to interact. Hey, Dre, baby. Hello. And of course, I wait for you all to pick the intention card. So I haven't picked it yet. Hello, Miss Nico, your first session. Yay! So glad you could get up this morning. Hopefully you got the whole family involved. All right, so I'm going to shuffle the cards for our intention word of the day. I like to pick it live because I know some people are like, how do you pick these cards? They seem to be on point. And the cards pick me, to be honest. I don't pick the cards. So I think it really speaks to me and I can relate it to my life. So yeah, I don't pick. They pick me. And for some reason, when I like to pick the cards, I like to put it on the mat. I don't know why, but that's just me. So I like to put them in a half circle or a whole circle and just kind of fill around, fill, and then I pick. And it's always on point. It really is. It's always on point. All right. So I'm going to leave you all in suspense until we get ready to start. But I am going to put the card in the deck here. So it'll be in the front and you'll be able to see it in a second. Put the other cards away. And if you would like to get your own intention cards, I do have a link that you can go to Amazon and purchase them as well. So for today's practice, we're going to do a little bit of arm strength. Let's get those summer Michelle Obama arms going. And we're going to use a block or a pillow. If you'd like to use a pillow, you don't have to use any type of meditation pillow like this. It can be any pillow that you have available. Just for your knees, if you want to put something down on your knees. And then also, you can use a block. So if you don't have a block, what are some substitutes? You can use a book. You can use some type of box. Let's say, for example, I would use this book right here. Now, I typically like to use hardback books, but this was one right here because we're going to do some poses that are like this. So you want a nice flat book. And this book is really good, Yoga for Everybody, or Yoga for Everyone by Diane Bondi. She's really good. This is all about accessible yoga, and I definitely refer to this a lot. So I will put that back there. And we'll get started right at 8:30. I like to come on early, say hello. And if you're interested in any type of special class that you don't see me offer, please let me know because I do take requests. I post classes every Wednesday morning. So every Wednesday morning, you get a pre-recorded class that you can take. It's a lot shorter than my Saturday classes. So it's something that you can take and then go on with your day. So those classes are available every Wednesday morning. I do take special requests for those classes. Like one class, it was all about yoga on the blocks. So I did a class about that. Last week's class was all about tight quads, and that was also by special request. One about hamstrings, that one was by special request. So I do take requests. Arm strength was another one. And I do want to, hey Jackie, I do want to work on that arm strength. I'm also trying to get those arms back together. So we all work together. We're all on our own journey and we're going through it together. So let's get this hair together. Get your water handy, anything that you need for your practice. Again, like I said, your blocks or your pillow, whatever you like to use. If you don't have any of the blocks, feel free to use a book or anything like that you have available. It doesn't have to be anything perfect, you know. I always talk about how yoga is not a perfect, it's a practice, and it definitely is. And trust me, even when I'm doing my own personal practice, I'm not always, you know, matching for one. I try to do this on camera, but I definitely do not have it perfect. And that's the whole point of it, because we're all on our journey of just trying to become better versions of ourselves. That doesn't actually mean that we're perfect, seeking that perfection. We're all flawed. So don't think that anybody is more perfect than you are. Definitely. All right. Oh, and if you are finding value within this video and you enjoy it, please give it the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe as well. And tell a friend to tell a friend. Definitely. Arms and glutes, please. Okay. Yes. Summer solstice tomorrow. That's right. That's right. And the kitty said hi. Hey. Hello. I love when kids take the class. Hello. Hello. It's a family affair, right? We got to get everybody in there. Anyone have any other questions? So I have already a request for arms and glutes. And I think we can do some glutes in here today. What I planned, because I try to have a little bit of a plan, right? What I planned was a little bit of arms and a little bit of core today. So that was what I had planned. But maybe we could slip some glutes in there a little bit. We can definitely do that. We can definitely make that happen. All right. I am going to tell you all the intention word while I put these blocks back. So, especially coming off of Juneteenth, and it was a day that I had a lot of emotions going throughout the day. I definitely yesterday's word was detoxify, and I really tried to detox from a lot of social media yesterday. So that was a really good intention word. And today's intention word, I'm going to bring it close. So positivity. And we all need that positivity. We all need it. It's important for us to be able to keep going. And for right now, within this time, within this space, there's a lot of conversation that's going on. A lot of it has been very positive conversations. Of course, you're going to get the bitter with the sweet, but I am looking forward to the positive things that have come out of this. So we just have to keep the conversation going. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. She said, Miko, it's going to be great. All right, so we'll get started in a seated position. And I always like to come to the breath. Of course, you can have your pillow handy. I'm going to have it right available for me. The most important thing is to come to the breath all the time. You always want to ground yourself within your practice. You don't have to have a seated position. Your practice is whatever it looks like and feels like for you. So I'm just up here as a guide, as a suggestion. You do what feels good for your body. All right. It's 8:30. Y'all ready? All right, let's get comfortable. We're going to take those cleansing breaths just to really get ourselves focused on the mat. We'll take an inhale in through the nose. Hold and exhale, open mouth. Do that 4 more times. Inhale in. Hold, exhale, release. Let the shoulders come down, let the knees soften. Inhale in. Still keeping that spine long. Exhale, release. Inhale in. And exhale. One more. Inhale in. And exhale. So when you're doing that breathing, you're fogging up a mirror. You're letting everything just relax. We're going to take that right ear down towards our right shoulder. Maybe we slept wrong. The pillow wasn't stacked up, or it was stacked up too high. If you'd like to take that left hand out in line with the hips onto the fingertips, you're welcome to do that as well. Just really extend that stretch all the way down the neck to the shoulders. Bringing that hand back in, we're going to go to the opposite side, left ear to left shoulder. Again, taking that right hand out in line with the fingertips. We're sitting up nice and tall. Our shoulders are back. And inhale, bring it in. Take that chin down towards your chest. Keeping that length within the collarbone. And on your next inhale, take that chin up towards the ceiling. Resting the head on the back. If you want to extend the stretch, you can take your hands behind you. Fingertips extend behind you, really getting those shoulder blades to touch. Lifting that chest nice and high. And on that exhale, we're going to bring the hands up overhead. Bring the hands up. Inhale in. Exhale, fold forward. Bringing those hands down onto the mat. Wherever you are, let the hands fall down. Your gaze is down on your mat. Let your forearms surrender into the mat, taking those shoulders away from your ears. With every exhale, that's when you get a little bit deeper and a little more comfortable into the stretch. Maybe you rock out. It's up to you. Walking those hands over to your right side. Maybe stacking the hand on top. Wherever you are, allow your body to release down. And walking your hands over to your left side. Coming back to center. Now our intention word was positivity. So we're going to go into this with a nice positive mind. On that inhale, bring those hands back up towards the body. Now here's where I said we're going to use that arm strength. So we're going to get right into it. Again, if you have a block or you have a book, we're going to take our hand out like it's a platter. We're going to place that block on top of our hand. Now, even if you don't have a book or a block, maybe you have a pillow. Now, we'll say this will be a little bit harder with the pillow. And you can also do it with nothing. So I'm going to show you both options. First, I'm going to show you with the block. We're going to take that arm and we're just going to bring it out to the side. So we're just opening that shoulder. We're going to get that shoulder strength warmed up right away. So you're just going to isolate the movements between the elbow and the hand. We're just isolating the movements. Without a block, it's the same thing. We're going to do 2 more. Really open that shoulder right away. And come back. This time we're going to bring it overhead. So bringing the block overhead, keeping the hand flat, take the block overhead. Stretch it over and bring it back. Without a block, you're bringing it up. Flat hand, take it down. Now that block is forcing you to keep that hand flat. So with the block or the pillow, it's just forcing you to keep it there. Again, the pillow is a little bit harder, but you can still maintain it. You see how hard it is? So you can do it, but it just takes a little extra effort. We got 2 more. And last one. We're going to switch, and go to the other side. So I'll show you on the block. So we're going to take it out to the side first. Again, you're isolating that movement within the shoulder. We first have to kind of build up that strength within the arms. Get that shoulder warmed up. We got 3 more. I'll show you without the block. Keeping that elbow in. Last one. Taking it overhead. Still keeping your body nice and neutral spine. Warming up those arms. Getting those arms up overhead. It's going to be useful for us within that stretch. Let's see if your arms are burning yet. We got 3 more. I'm going to show you with the pillow on this side. Again, it's a little bit harder to keep that pillow straight. So if you are wanting to really give yourself a challenge today, that's the challenge. Last one. All right, take it down. Relax your block, relax your pillow. I'm going to take it right here. And we'll bring the block off to the side. Now keep your block handy because we are going to come back to it. We're going to come to that tabletop position. All right, who we got? Yes, hello, mommy. Hello, hello. All right. We're going to come to that tabletop position. We're going to untuck your toes. Take your hands right out in front of you. Place them down onto your mat. I want you to bring your shoulders over your wrist. So take those shoulders over your wrist. Press into those fingertips. Press the fingertips into the mat. Root those fingertips down. Press down into that first and second knuckle. We're pushing away. So bring that arch within the spine. We're pushing away with our arms. Start to activate those arms early. And on that exhale, push the hips back towards the heels. So this is our close child's pose here. Push away. Relax the fingers. Allow those hips to settle back towards your heels. Your head is down on towards the mat. We're going to push forward one more time. So push forward into that tabletop position. Again, bring those shoulders over your wrists. We're pushing away with our hands, pushing up into the shoulders. Come back to a nice neutral tabletop position. Give your hips a rock from left to right. We're going to warm up that body. We're going to move our hips in a nice circle. So start your circles. Go all the way around. Get those snap, crackle, pops out the way. We all got them. We're warming up that body first thing in the morning. Notice how your hand position is as you go into your circles. We're going to pause at the top, go the opposite way. Remember, you're rooting down within your first and second knuckle. Gripping those fingertips into the mat. We're going to pause at the top. Allow our body to get comfortable. Those shoulders release. We're going to take that right leg out to behind us. Those toes are going to flex down. So right away, we're engaging that core. We're keeping our body nice and lifted. Keep that hip neutral. So we don't want to bring the hip up. We want to keep the hip down. We're going to take that leg over to the other side of our mat, cross it over our body. Let the heel come down. Take one more breath. Remember, the breath is the most important thing. Come back to center. And this time you're going to take the heel down right here behind you. Getting that calf stretch. Pushing away with your hands. So we're going to come back to this push away with the hands in our downward facing dog. So it's useful and helpful to get your body accustomed to it early. And bring that knee back in, hip distance apart, give it a rock. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Taking that left leg out behind you, flexing those toes down, engage the core. So keep that spine nice and neutral. One full breath here. Crossing that leg over, allow the heel to drop. So this heel is going to be completely on the opposite side of your mat, maybe even out on the outside of the mat. So it can be on the side or the outside. Take it back in, place the heel down behind you. Push away with the hands. And take the knee back in, give it a rock from left to right. We're going to kickstand that leg out. So that right leg is going to kickstand out to the side. We're going to take our hand, right hand, and take it in line with the knee. And we're going to take that left leg out. So pivot that left foot to where the pinky toe is on the mat. Readjust your body to your comfort level. Now, this foot position is the same one within our warrior posture. So just remember that. Place that hand down onto the mat. And we're going to take that left arm up overhead. So as we take the arm up overhead, I want you to press into that hand on the bottom. Press into, lift the hips up. So this is our modified side plank here. But we're going to build on this pose. Again, we're going to get that strength within the arms. Now, if you like to take a block and have a block here to lift yourself up a little bit higher, you can also do that. So feel free to use your blocks. All right. Here's where the core is going to come in. We're going to take that leg and just lift that leg off the ground. And just lift that leg. If you'd like a prop, there's always props. You can take that block, keep the leg here, prop that leg up. And then once you get comfortable, maybe you can float that leg. All right. Lower that leg back down. Give it a breath. Take the pinky toe, take that edge of the mat, foot on the mat. We're going to take the arm up overhead. So take that arm overhead, stretch that arm over. And now we're going to do a little bit of core work. So we're going to bend the knee, take the knee to elbow, take it back out. Take the knee to elbow and back out. We're going to do 4 more. Knee to elbow and back out. And 3. And 2. Last one, and hold, 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 release. Stretch it out and come down to that tabletop position. Give your knees a rock from left to right. You got it. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, kickstanding that foot out, taking that left arm in line with the knee, stretch out the right. Pinky toe edge of the foot is on the mat. So readjust your body wherever you feel comfortable. Again, you have the blocks to use wherever you need it. Readjust your body, push into that hand, bring that arm up overhead, lifting your hips, stacking your shoulders, so bringing that arm back. We're going to take some breaths here as we get used to it, get that arm strength. One hand is always different than the other. Our bodies are not symmetric. Keep that in mind. So use your props wherever you need to. Even if you want to put a pillow underneath of your knee, take that arm overhead. Going to float the leg up. Hold here. So you're engaging that core. You're engaging that leg as well. So keeping that foot lifted. Keep breathing throughout. Keep breathing. You can extend that arm overhead or keep it up, whichever one is for you. We're going to take 2 more breaths as we warm up the body. We're not moving, but we're getting warm. Trust me. And lower that foot down. Extend the arm overhead. You ready to crunch it out? All right. We're going to crunch knee to elbow. Crunch and extend. And crunch and extend. 4 more. And 3. And 2. Last 1. And lower down, come down to that tabletop position. And I want you to push back into that child's pose with your knees together. Take your arms behind you towards your feet. Relax your shoulders. Come back to the breath. Take 2 more breaths here. I'm going to take those hands forward, come to that tabletop position, tucking those toes underneath, push the hips back towards your heels. Toe stretch here. Move the hips. We're going to push forward and bend our knees. We're going to come to that first downward facing dog of the day. Paddle your feet out, put a bend into your knees. Again, we're pushing away with our hands. Our shoulders should be nice and prime and ready for this. We're going to bring those knees to stillness, taking those heels down towards the earth, pushing away with our hands, making that upside down V with our bodies. Our gaze is behind us. Take 2 more breaths. Bring the gaze towards the hands. Walk the feet towards your hands. The top of your mat, forward fold. So this is our first forward fold. Feel free to put a bend into those knees, taking that belly onto the thighs. Relax your head. As you're here in the forward fold, grab opposite elbows for ragdoll. Let your shoulders and your elbows surrender towards the mat. As you get more comfortable, you can begin to straighten the legs. If you get comfortable, to straighten your legs, shift the weight into the balls of your feet. Gently rock your shoulders and elbows from left to right. Going to do yes with your head. Release the tension of the neck. And no. Release the hands back to your forward fold. Gently walk the hands all the way up the body, bringing your arms overhead for your extended mountain, bringing the hands to touch. Slight back bend here, gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. So keeping that slight bend into the knees, shift the weight into the balls of the feet. Allow the head to release. Take your hands to your shin for a flat back. We're going to get ready for our sun salutations. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands on the mat. We're going to step back into that tabletop position first. As we prepare, this is our first sun salutation. Now you can bring your body all the way down onto your belly, lower your body down, elbows in, untuck the toes, bring those hands right under your shoulders. You're going to press into your hands, gaze is forward, bringing those shoulders up and back. Activating that lower back, really getting that muscle going. Exhale, lower down. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, lower the head. Shift the weight towards your heels, tabletop position, and then your downward facing dog. If you don't want to flow through going down to the ground, you can always push directly back to your downward facing dog, and we'll all meet there. Bringing the gaze towards the hands, forward fold. On that inhale, come all the way up, extended mountain. Plant your feet into the mat, arms overhead. All right, so we're going to go into that sun salutation. We're going to do a full sun salutation. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shin for a flat back. Plant your hands down on the mat. So you have the option of stepping back directly to your downward facing dog or stepping back to your plank pose. Taking those shoulders right over the wrists, heels over the balls of the feet. Lower your body down, elbows in. Press up to your upward facing dog or your cobra. This is a cobra. This one's a full upward facing dog, pressing into the arms. And then push back. We all meet in our downward facing dog. Taking the gaze towards the hands, walk to your forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. All right, that was our first full sun salutation. Let's go into it. Forward fold. We got 2 more of these. Hands to shin for flat back. Plant your hands, step through and flow to your choice. We all meet in our downward facing dog. As we take a breath here in our downward facing dog, take the gaze towards the hands, walk the feet to the top to your forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Flat back here. Plant the hands down on the mat. Step back and flow. I'll meet you in down dog. Bringing that gaze towards the hands. Walk your feet towards your hands. We're back into that forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Press into the feet. This is going to be our last one. Let's make it good. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shin, flat back. Plant your hands down on the mat. Step back and flow. As we meet in our downward facing dog, let's take 1 full cycle of breath, pressing away with your hands. Gaze is behind you. Bring the gaze towards your hands. Walk to your forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Bringing the hands overhead. Exhale to your mountain pose as we stand here, knees bent. All right, wiggle those hips out. Come back to your breath. How we doing? All right, you got it, you got it. All right, we're going to do a little bit of balance here. So I want you to focus on something, not me, something that's right in front of you, something that isn't moving. You're going to put a slight bend into your knees. Grip those toes into the mat. We're going to have our shoulders down and beside us. We're again focused on something that's just in front of you. Shift your weight into your right foot. We're going to grab that left knee, bring it up towards the body. Now you can keep it here or you can bring it up, whichever one that feels comfortable to you. Feel free, hold on to a wall, hold on to a chair, anything that you have around you. As you focus on something that is not moving before you lift that knee, hug that knee into the chest. Allow the shoulders to relax. On that exhale, nice and controlled, using that core, release the hands, lower the leg, nice and slow. Very nice. Let's shake it out. Let's go to the other side. All right. Again, root down into your left foot. That right knee, you can keep it here. Setting that drishti point. Bring the knee up. Engage the standing leg. Engage the glute. Hug that knee into the chest. You may notice that one side is a little bit different than the other. Feel free if you need to hold on to anything that you have. So you're rooting down within those feet. As you see, my foot is not being very cooperative with me. One side is always different. And on that exhale, release your body down. Shake it out. It's a practice, not a perfect, y'all. All right. Bring yourself back to your mountain pose. We're going to shift those toes to the outside. Heels come in. Now take your body just a little bit further out, just a little bit further than hip distance. Inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, lower the hands down. One more inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, release the arms down. We're going to turn our bodies to the right. So turn those toes out towards the right side. Pivot that back foot. Now remember why I said that warrior pose, that pinky toe edge of the foot is going to be on the mat. We're going to turn to the right side. We're going to bring those arms up overhead. And on that exhale, bring the hands down. Interlace the hands behind you. Bring the shoulder blades to touch. Gaze is up. I want you to press into both feet. On that exhale, you're going to hinge forward, bringing that head to the inside of your knee. Take your arms up overhead. If this is too much, you can always come down onto a block or bring those hands down by your side. If you like to extend those arms, feel free to take the arms overhead, bring the head down. So as we stretch out our arms, this is really good for our shoulders, especially if we do a lot of sitting. You might be doing a lot of sitting in your work, and this is really good for just opening up that chest, opening up your shoulders. We're going to press into our feet, come back up to standing. Come all the way back up, press into those feet, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, take the arms down. Come back to center. We're going to go to the left side. Turn the left toes out. The back foot is going to be pinky toe edge on the mat. As we turn towards this side, bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind your back. Allow the shoulder blades to touch. We're going to hinge forward towards the inside of the knee, bringing your head all the way down. Feel free to put a bend into the knee. Taking that head all the way down, look behind you. So your gaze is down towards that back foot. Take those arms overhead to your comfort level. Allow your body to breathe. Take one more breath. See if you can get a little bit closer, bringing that knee towards your nose. We're going to press into the feet, bring ourselves back up to stand. Bringing the arms overhead. Exhale, come back to center. Rock the hips, move the toes. Going to inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, bring both hands down. Feel free, if you would like to have a block here, you can always take a block, take it to the center. Bring your hands down onto the blocks. If you'd like to take the pose just a little bit deeper, bring those hands down, gaze behind you. If you'd like to extend the pose, you can also walk those hands behind your feet. Allow that head to relax. If you feel like you want to get a little bit deeper, you can always widen out the feet to where the head reaches the mat. Completely up to you. As we heel toe our feet closer together, engage your core, bring those arms up overhead, press into the feet, use our core to come all the way up. Slight back bend here, press the hips forward. Exhale, come down. Heel toe your feet back together. We're back to that mountain pose. Let's come to the top of our mat. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to shin for a flat back. Planting your hands down on the mat, we're going to step back and flow. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. We're going to press into that left foot. Take that right foot up towards the sky. Keep the hip in line with the other hip. Keep the hip square. On that exhale, we're going to bend the knee, arch the spine, take the foot through to frame the hands. Pivot that back foot, just like we've done. Pinky toe, edge of the foot on the mat. Bring the arms overhead. We're going to bend that front knee. This is our warrior one position. Nice, strong. Look down. Make sure you just see the big toe. Knee tracking right over your ankle. Exhale, open up warrior two. Nice T arms. We're gazing over that ring finger, so both hands are out to a T. We're nice and strong in both hands. On that inhale, drop the back hand, reverse your warrior, gaze up towards that front hand. Your gaze is up towards the ceiling. Feel that stretch. Keep the bend. On that exhale, we're going to take that forearm down onto the thigh. Sweep the arm up overhead. We're stretching overhead. Keep that chest lifted. On that inhale, reverse your warrior. Maintain the bend in the knee. And on that exhale, windmill your hands down. We're going to step through and flow. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. We're going to do the same thing on your left side. So plant the right foot, lift the left leg, keep it in line with the hip. Let it hover here, pressing away with your hands, gaze down towards that foot. And bend the knee, arch the spine, bring it through. We're going to come up to that warrior one on our left. Bend into that front knee. Feel that hip open. We're stretching here, planting both feet down. Open up to that warrior two pose. Checking that alignment, knee is right over the ankle. Nice and strong here. Inhale, reverse your warrior, gaze up. And again, on that exhale, take that forearm down onto the thigh. Sweep the arm overhead. So we're stretching as if we're reaching forward for something overhead. Remember, we did the same pose when we were down on our knees for that modified side plank. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, windmill those hands down. We step back and we flow. We meet in a downward facing dog. We're going to take that gaze towards the front of the mat. Walk the feet towards your hands. We're going to put a bend into the knee. You can take that belly down onto the thigh. Take your hands out to the side. And we're going to sit in our chair. So using those glutes, someone suggested glutes. We're going to sink that weight into the heels. Taking those arms overhead, releasing the shoulders away from our ears, sitting that weight back into the heels. If this is too much on your shoulders and you'd like to take your hands back, you can do that as well. Just keeping that weight within the heels, keeping that squat, that spine is long. On that exhale, forward fold. Relax yourself here, come back to the breath. Bringing the hands to shin for flat back. Plant your hands down on the mat. We step back and flow, meeting in our downward facing dog. Taking that right foot up towards the sky, bending it through to frame the hand. We're going to come to that warrior one position. Really bend into that front knee. So we've already come here before. We've gotten a little bit comfortable. We're going to switch it up just a little bit. Exhale, open up warrior two. So we've been here. But this time we're going to straighten that front leg. Hinge forward like we're trying to grab something that's in front of us. Drop that front hand. Take the back hand up. This is our triangle pose. Stack those shoulders and lift your hips. Keep the gaze up. On that inhale, we're going to reverse the warrior. Put the bend back into the knee. Very nice. On that exhale, windmill the hands back. We're going to step back and flow. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. Taking that left leg up. Bend it through to frame the hands. Warrior one. Press into both feet. Exhale, open up warrior two, maintain your bend. And then here's where we're going to straighten the front leg. Lean forward. Drop the front hand. Bring that back hand up. Gaze up towards it. Release the tension in the neck. So we don't want that neck to be too stiff. Allow the shoulders to open. On that inhale, reverse your warrior. Put the bend back into the knee. And on your exhale, windmill your hands down. We're going to step back and flow, meeting in our downward facing dog. Bringing the gaze towards the hands, walk the feet back up. We're going to have a seat back in our chair. So bending those knees, bringing the hands up. Shift the weight into the heels. So we're going to do a little flow with our squats. On that exhale, we stand and we squat. Two more. Stand and squat. And stand, squat. Last one, stand and squat. Very nice. Hold here. Shift the weight into the heels. And on that exhale, forward fold. Breathe here. So I didn't cue any resting poses, but a forward fold can almost be like a resting pose. Really get to come back to that breath. Breathing in through the nose. Exhale, open mouth. We're going to take our feet wide as the mat. Put a bend into those knees, but this time we're going to squat our bottom all the way down towards the mat. Now feel free, if you like a block, place a block underneath. If this squat is too much on your knees, you can place your block in the high position underneath you. If you like to take your hands in between, you can. Moving your block out the way, we're going to take our hands behind us, sit on our bottoms. We made it to the ground again. All right. Shift your body forward onto your mat so your feet are at the top of the mat. We're going to bring our hands behind us. Let those knees fall over to one side. Turn your body, your gaze away from your knees. Lifting that chest. We're pushing up, lifting that chest. So we're still engaging those arms, keeping those arms nice and lifted and strong. Use the core this time. Take your knees back up to center. Let them fall to the other side. Take your gaze opposite of your knees. Very nice. Take those knees back up to center. We're going to take our hands, hug our knees into our chest, lower our head, chin on the chest. And you're going to tuck your tailbone under, come all the way down onto your mat. Hug your knees into your chest. Give your body a rock from left to right. Gonna lower down your right leg while you hug in your left. So lower that leg all the way down. Hug the left leg in. Give that knee a rock from left to right. And let your knee come over your body and down towards the mat. Now, it's okay if it doesn't reach there. If you'd like to put a block underneath, you can set it in any position you like, taking that pressure off the hip, or let the knee fall down towards the earth. You can take the hand closest to the thigh and place it there, as long as it's not on your knee. Then turn your gaze opposite of your knee. Allow your shoulders to release, melting into the mat, coming back to your breath, releasing the hip. Going to take that knee, bring it back in towards the chest. Hug the knee in. And we're going to swap out the legs. So swap it out, hug the right in, lower down the left. I'm going to rock the leg out and then let it fall over across the body. Again, using your block as needed. Take the back hand out to a T. Other hand can be on the thigh. Let your body surrender. Turn your gaze opposite of your knee. We're letting that heart rate cool down. Letting our body surrender and get a little bit more calm. The purpose of these stretches is just to relax. When you let your body relax, you really get that length within the muscles and get that stretch. So at first we were doing more strength and now more stretch. Taking that knee back into your chest, give it a little hug in. Let the leg fall down. Stretch the arm overhead, wiggle your toes. And we're going to do a little bit of core here. Now, normally we do it in reverse, but this time we're going to do it the other way. So we're going to take our legs, bring them up, engage the core, take the hands up. Take both arms and legs up towards the ceiling. Nice and slow. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. That lower back is in the mat as much as possible. Keep breathing. Relax the shoulders. On that exhale, lower the hands down, bend the knees into the chest, give them a rock. I'm going to put a bend into the knees, set the feet flat on the mat. I'm going to readjust myself so I can be more on the mat. Those toes are going to be tracked forward. You're going to cross your right leg over your left, nice wide figure four cross. So release that thigh, maybe push the thigh away a little bit. And on that exhale, we're going to hug our knee, left knee into the chest. Thread your hands behind your thigh. Keep those shoulders on the ground as much as possible. Relax the neck. Just give them a little bit of a hug in. Take 2 more breaths. And on that exhale, release the hands. Lower that foot back down to the mat. And we're going to let this top foot fall all the way over the body until it falls onto the mat. Take your gaze away from your knees. So we're just trying to open up that hip a little bit. Use your core to bring the knee back up to center. Uncross your legs. Give your knees a rock from left to right. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So crossing right over left. Maybe push away. And then you're going to hug the knees into the chest. So threading your hands behind your thigh. Hugging that knee in. Releasing the shoulders towards the mat as much as possible. Relax your neck. And on this side, releasing your hands, letting that foot fall back on the mat, and then letting your foot carry over across your body, giving that hip a stretch. Turn your gaze opposite of your knee. Bringing that knee back up to center, using your core, engage your core here. Uncross your legs, give your knees a rock from left to right. Setting those toes forward on our mat, we're going to bring our elbows down. So our elbows are going to come down, backs of our arms are on the mat. Our hands can be up, like we're getting ready to do the robot, but we're not. Press into those feet. We're going to lift our hips using our arm strength and our glute and quad. So lift those hips, press into the arms, press into the feet. Press that big toe down into the earth. Lift those hips high. Engage your glutes. We're going to get those hips nice and high. See if we can get them a little bit higher. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Press into the arms. Again, engaging those quads. Engaging your glutes. And on your next exhale, lower your hips down. Give your knees a rock. We're going to do 3 of those, so we got 2 more. Setting those knees back up to center, toes are tracked forward, bringing those elbows down. Press into the hands and the arms, lift the hips. Engage your glutes. Press into the big toe. See if you can lift those hips a little bit higher. Relax the neck. Press a little bit higher. Keep pressing. Engage that leg. And release down. Give your knees a rock from left to right. This is our last one. We're going to give it all we got. Pressing those feet down. Toes are tracked forward. Press into your arms. Lift the hips up. Shoulders are on the mat. Neck is down. Press the toe down. Lift the hips up. Get it high. You got it. You got it. See if you can get the hips just a little bit higher. We're getting that lower back to be engaged as well. And on that exhale, lower your hips down. Hug your knees into your chest. Get your knees on both sides of your shoulders. Nice wide hug. Take your hands to your shin. I want your lower back on the mat as much as possible as you give your knees a rock from left to right. We're going to take the soles of the feet to touch, butterflying those knees out. Let your feet fall down on the mat. So this may open up your hip a little. If your hips are not used to being this open and they have a little bit of tension, again, those blocks are handy. Take the block right under the thighs, wherever you need it. Start off in the high position and then readjust from there, wherever you need that block. If you don't have a block, use your hands. Take your hands just gently, give a little pressure, get that pressure into those elbows, and just slightly lift the knees and give them a rock from left to right. Once you get comfortable, you can take the knees to stillness, maybe place the hands on the inner thigh, guiding those thighs down. You're going to take 2 breaths. Then you're going to think about those feet. Let the feet relax. Maybe they've hinged forward, letting your shoulders surrender. I want you to take 3 breaths here, just really letting your body surrender down into the mat. Letting your feet fall forward. Gently taking those hands to the outside of your thighs, closing those thighs up like a book, set the feet flat on the mat. Give them a rock from left to right. Hugging your knees into your chest. Flat back. Take your feet up towards the ceiling. Flex those toes down toward your body. Put a bend back into the knees towards your chest. Take your hands out to a T. Let your knees fall over to one side. This is our supine twist. Take the gaze away from your knees. Let your hips surrender. Let your shoulders relax. Take 2 breaths here. Just letting your body surrender. Going to use that core. Keep the knees together as much as possible. Take the knees back up to center. Let the knees fall over to the opposite side. Again, take your gaze away from your knees. Let your body surrender. Let those hips relax. Keeping your knees stacked. Take 1 more breath. Use your core. Take those knees back into the chest. Give them a hug in with your hands. As we release the feet back up towards the ceiling, take those hands up towards your toes, flexing the toes down. Going to use that core, lower our feet in our hands. Hands come down behind us, feet extend forward on the mat. Use that core nice and slow, until the feet and the hands come all the way down on the mat. Wiggle your toes, move your fingers. Going to let your hands come down by your side, palms up, or one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Allow your toes to surrender down. Get comfortable here. We'll come into the breath. We'll come into that intention. That intention of positivity. I hope you were positive throughout your practice today. We're coming back to the breath. Starting at the crown of our head, we release tension in between those eyebrows. Unclench your jaw. Relax your tongue. Let your shoulders surrender into the mat. Your spine is heavy and in contact with the mat as much as possible. Letting those hips relax. Knees, ankles, and toes are heavy on your mat. Your focus is on the rise and the fall of your chest and how you can implement positivity into your day, how you can share your positive aura with the world. Even though things may not be as positive as we would like them to be, share your light, share your energy. Positivity is infectious. Share your light with others. I want you to take 2 more breaths of silence as you seal your intention. Beginning to invite movement back into your body. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Deepen in your breath. And when you're ready, you can hug your knees into your chest, one at a time. Gently rolling over to one side. Cradle your head. Give yourself a moment before you reconnect with the world. When you're ready, using that top hand to push yourself back into that seated position, whatever comfortable seat that is. Bringing those hands to heart center, thumbs into your chest. I want you to thank yourself for remaining positive, staying focused, committing to your practice, showing up for you today. Thank your body for supporting you in this practice. I thank you for allowing me to share my practice with you. Take this energy, this positivity with you off the mat. Share it with others. Enjoy your day. Namaste. I thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot out of it. Please remember to like and subscribe. Share it with others. Again, tell a friend, right? Who we have in the chat? Who do we have? Hello? Hey guys. Hello, I'm glad you enjoyed it. This practice is, definitely with you in mind. It makes me happy to be able to share with you, be able to share my light. I have another class that's going to be for the summer solstice tomorrow, International Yoga Day. I am doing that with 24 other yoga teachers. It actually started on Iceland time, so they're actually getting ready to start very soon. It's all yoga for 24 hours. It's on my Facebook page as well as my Instagram. So definitely let me know if you want me to leave it as well. I'll leave it in the comments for this class. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. Walter, giving you another shout out. I'm glad you enjoyed the morning stretch. I hope the kiddies enjoyed it as well, Nico. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's much needed for me as well. It really helps to start my day with a little bit of movement. Check out the other videos if you want more movement throughout your day. They're a little bit shorter to give you just what you need to get yourself started for the day. So I thank you so much for just letting me be a part of your yoga journey and your mindfulness journey, your strength-based journey. Everything that you need, I try to incorporate to give you those little things to keep you going, because we're all in it together. So you need to strengthen toes and fingers and hands. Ooh, okay. Toes, fingers, and hands. I got it. I got something I've already thought of. So we can do that. And remember that the first Saturdays of every month is chair yoga. So I think we got one more Saturday, and then July, that first Saturday in July is chair yoga. So definitely like to make that very accessible to everyone. It is a workout regardless of if you can get on the floor or not. It's a very good workout. So if you have anyone who doesn't like to get on the floor to do their practice, they can start off with chair exercises. And if you want to give them a sneak preview, I do have some classes already within my YouTube page that's all about the chair yoga. So yes. I thank you for making it. Thank you, Mommy, as well. And shout out to the fathers. Tomorrow is Father's Day. Shout out to my dad, Mike. Thank you so much. I hope you were watching and doing the practice as well. And I just want you all to enjoy your weekend. Get out. Tomorrow's the longest day of the summer. So this is our the longest day of the year, summer solstice. So get out and enjoy your day. If you're a father, happy Father's Day. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Have a good one. All right.